What is up, everyone? I don't have a YouTuber intro, but what we do have is Swarm Disaster tier list right in front of me, because Curios are one of the main things when it comes to Swarm Disaster. They can sometimes save your run or straight up end your run, depending on the situation. Some Curios are situational, some Curios are godlike, and some Curios just want to, pull your hair out. Anyways, when it comes to Curios, I have a little bit of different tier lists here. We have the S tier, obviously the most amazing ones, the amazing ones which are a little bit below S tier, B situational, where a lot of Curios here are situational because this is a roguelike mode. So yeah, we have the D and the F bra moment, which are Curios that are what the hell, man. Like, you want to straight up Alt F4 out of the game once you get them. So yeah, the way I'm gonna do this, we have the tier list here, and I have my Honkai Stavrel opened here, so you can, we can look at the Curio and what it does and think a little bit about it. But overall, I just want to start this. Let's talk about Curios, because yeah. Anyways, first of all, I want to get this thing out of the way instantly. Situational seals. Seals are always situational depending on what path you play. So they are always going to be an, situational tier. Alright, when it comes to clocks, I'm gonna put clocks all in F tier. But the thing is, some clocks are just way better than others, because some clocks you can actually combo it and save your run with it, right? But when it comes to all Curios, this one is actually the worst one, because it reduces the blessings you get by 1. So instead of 3 blessings, you get 1 blessing. Like, this is the worst one. This clock I'm gonna put in D tier because, you can combo it a little bit, so it has more versatility when it comes to everything. But yeah, when compared to all other clocks, like, these two clocks have more potential for comboing, like the black clock, which gives you, upon entering, randomly increases the chance for one character to get attacked by enemies for 5 turns. This is not bad, especially if it targets your, tank. But compared to the other clocks, yeah, this is good. Overall, it's still not bad. Like, these two clocks are way better than the rest of the clocks. So yeah, with that thing said, let's just move on from clocks and seals, because the next thing I want to talk is error codes. So when it comes to error codes, everything is situational, but some error codes are just way superior when it comes to the rest. Okay, now with all the different codes here in situational tier, I just want to talk about error code or just normal code. Normal code, I would say, is B, but for me personally, normal code is amazing tier, like really, really good. Every time you see it, you want to pick it up, because in Swarm Disaster, we value survivability more than damage. And like, when your character is not dead, it does damage. When your character is dead, it doesn't do damage. But yeah, in Swarm Disaster, especially for new players, I think normal code is one of the best error codes you can get. But yeah, overall, what normal code does is, once your character is below 50% HP, it takes, I think, 35 to 40% less damage. It says here that while the code is being fixed, all allies take 35% more damage, while their HP is below 50% of their max HP. Once it's fixed, this Curio reduces damage taken by all allies. Like, this is really good, man. Like, you don't want anything else than that. So aside from normal code, we also have odd code. Odd code is every time you use your ultimate, you heal by 30% of your max HP. That is really good because more survivability, really good. Also, that healing can proc of all the abundant stuff. It can proc a lot of stuff when it comes to blessings and just different paths. So I would honestly just put it in B tier because it's way better than the rest. We have elegant code, which is advance forward. Advance forward is really strong, especially when you play it with Hunt. So yeah, I would also place it in B, even a little bit more than the healing one. And this thing is just more damage, which is okay-ish. And yeah, this thing is really good as well. We all know this. Every time you basic attack, instead of getting 1 skill point, you get 2, so you get 1 extra skill point. It goes really well with propagation and everything else. So I would also put it a little bit in B tier, but yeah, not this thing. But yeah, with all this said, that is it when it comes to the start. Let's go and talk about the rest of the Curios. Chaos Tempest, it gives you 1 extra reset. That is, for me, like S tier, because you get a free reset, therefore you have a higher chance of getting all the things that you want and make the perfect build in Swarm Disaster. Like, without a doubt, this is S tier. Fate Bond is really good because it reduces the overall cost fragments for your blessing enhancements, resets, and you're reviving your characters. But I think some people value it way too highly. I don't value it that much because every time I see it, there are other Curios that are prioritized every single time. So I will just put it in like a B tier. To me, it's like sometimes situational, but it's still a really good curio. Like you can get more blessings, you can revive. You have, instead of 30 cost on your resets, you get 21. Savage. So it is overall really good, but I would say it's B tier, not amazing, definitely not S tier. Next up is the robe. And I have a few things I want to say about the robe. I think people overvalue it way too highly. Like upon entering battle, increases damage dealt by all allies by 16%. For every 100 fragments you have. So if you have 1,000 fragments, that's 160% increased damage on your whole team. But I think just upgrading your 3 stars gives you way more value towards your damage than robe does. Because for example, if you are running elation, destruction, it doesn't matter if you are running hunt, but specifically if you run elation, just upgrading one 3-star elation nets you way more damage, for example 40 to 50% of damage on everyone than the robe does. To me personally, robe is the biggest noob trap I've ever seen anyone get sucked in by, and I will place it in B tier. It is okay, you can have like 2,000-3,000 fragments, you have a lot of damage, but just upgrading your blessings nets you way more damage overall than having cosmic fragments. Because once you pick this up, I've seen people pick this up, and you all know what they do. They don't reset, they are not trying to snipe the best possible blessings for their path, because they are like thinking, oh, I have the cosmic fragments, I need 2 cosmic fragments, I need more money because, oh, if I get 100 more cosmic fragments, I'm gonna get 16% more damage. But why? Like, you can just press the reset button, get a way better blessing that will overall improve your whole performance on everything. So yeah, this is the biggest noob trap I've ever seen, and I would put it in like B tier, but if you ask me, I would put it in D tier. I honestly never pick it up because I value enhancing blessings so much more than this, but I can't place the robe on the same like thing as, you know, the clocks. So yeah, I will just put it a really B tier. But yeah, overall, robe is the biggest noob trap I've ever seen people fall, especially people who don't play that much Swarm Disaster or play that much Simulated Universe. Remember, enhancing your blessings is just overall way better for your whole build than keeping cosmic fragments. Next up is gold coin. Gold coin, every time you enter a different domain, you have 6% of your overall. This is like B tier in the past, but in Swarm Disaster, since we have a lot of floors, if you get it really early, it is definitely amazing. Like amazing tier 100%. But if you get it a little bit late, it's B tier. Overall, I think the coin, if you get it really early in stage 1, instantly pick it up if you can, because it will just net you so much more money, and especially if you play with a lot of, you know, like abundance, you are just grinding out farm willing all the way through every single thing. You are just not rushing and taking your time trying to do as many floors as you can. If you pick it up early, definitely go for it because it's amazing, but overall the performance of coin is really high B tier. Wicked Trimmers. So after getting this, it repairs 2 destroyed Curios. Here's the thing when it comes to Wicked Trimmers. There are a lot of good Curios that are one-time use and that get destroyed. For example, we have glue, we have dimension dice, we have way too many Curios here that, you know, just once they are destroyed, they don't benefit you a lot. But the thing is, Wicked Trimmers on its own, it's like D tier. But since a lot of these Curios are one-time use that are S tier, I would honestly just put it at high B tier. Like high B tier Wicked Trimmers is really good. You can even put it at amazing. Because repairing, for example, your fortune glue, repairing your other stuff like tickets, repairing, I don't know, dimension dice, it just nets you so much more value. So it all, like this thing, I would put it at situational, but to me, Wicked Trimmers, every time I see it or I try to snipe it in the Herta shop, I try and go for it, especially if you have fortune glue. But to me, it's still B tier because of the overall performance. Like, it is really situational. I would put it like here. I still value Wicked Trimmers way more than I value the robe. Record from Beyond the Sky, I value it a lot. I remember when I did like past Simulated Universe stuff and people were telling me, bro, you are overvaluing this thing is absolute trash, D tier, B tier, F tier. But I still think it's really amazing in normal Simulated Universe, but it really shines when it's like in Swarm Disaster. Because upon entering battle, you nullify all damage received for the first turn, except for dots. And you cannot be debuffed by enemies for 3 turns. And as the enemy pool is growing, we are getting more and more enemies that can debuff you, stun you, permanently stun lock you. So Record from Beyond the Sky for like phase 2, 3, it doesn't matter. It's really good. It's really good against the Swarm. It's really good against a lot of the elites. It's overall a really good and, you know, defensive tool to have. So I would put it like B tier. It's really good. I don't know, like people devalue this thing way too much. I've seen people always say it's D tier, it's F tier, bro, who even chooses this? But I think that's a big skill issue. Overall, if you are having problems with a lot of debuffs and just stuns and all that stuff, I think Record from Beyond the Sky is really good. Entropic Die enhances 2 blessings immediately after getting this. It is really good. It is B tier. Like overall, when you see it, you pick it up. Sometimes you get lucky, you get a 3-star upgrade, 2-star upgrade. Sometimes you really low roll it, you get 1-star upgrades, 1-star upgrades. But overall value for this thing is really high. You see it, you pick it up. Why not? Like overall, you just get free upgrades on your blessings, and that is really good. And every time I see it, I usually pick it up. I usually buy it because why not? Like you can get like a good enhance on a 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. It doesn't matter. It's like bang for the buck, really good. Next up is the other dice, replaces all Curios currently in possession, including this Curio with random Curios. That is the thing, a lot of people never include this, including this Curio. You know what that means? If you have 3 Curios and you pick it up, you get 4 Curios randomly. It's just too good. It enables the clock. If you have like 3, 4, 5 clocks, it turns you into 5 different Curios. I often had runs where I had like 28, 30 Curios, 15 Curios, just because of this thing. It enables you to, you know, remove the Curios that you don't want. It enables you to remove all the negative Curios. But yeah, I value this thing really, really high. Every time I see it, I try and just gamba. Overall, this dice where it replaces all your Curios is really good. It just, even when you pick it up, it just gives you so much value. So the GG goggles, from now on, when you pick it up, all your 1-star blessings are all enhanced. Really good. Really, like, really good. I usually pick it up. So here is the thing when it comes to goggles. In phase 2, phase 3, it's still good. In phase 1, when you pick it up really early, do you know how much value you get just from having enhanced blessings? Like 1-star blessings enhanced. I think this is really good. I don't know. I call them the GG goggles every time I see them. I try to pick them up depending on what Curios I get, but I value them really, really high. Okay, I'm not gonna value them as much as, you know, these 2 things, but yeah, I value them really, really high because enhancing blessings costs a lot of money and having them for free is like GG. Dimension dice, easily S tier. For people that don't know, just more blessings and more ways to proc your, you know, the things that you want. It combos really, really well with Fortune Glue. If you have this and you have Fortune Glue, you can pick up 2 3-stars instead of 1. So overall, you just get more bang for the buck, blessings, and more ways to just finish your build. And all the blessings. But yeah, Dimension Dice is easily S tier, easily one of the best Curios in this game. Okay, the new Curio Coin, which gives you 50% more Cosmic Fragments. I think this is good. Overall, this is good. Like, if you have 500 Cosmic Fragments, you pick it up, you have extra 250, you have 1000 Cosmic Fragments, you pick this up, you have 500 fragments more, then you end up with 1500 fragments. More fragments means more ways to enhance and, you know, spend your stuff on transactions and get the Curios or blessing that you want. But yeah, I think Coin is good. Like, I would put it like around somewhere here. It's easily B tier, it's not amazing tier or S tier. But yeah, every time you see the coin, you are always going like, oh, how much fragments do I have? Oh, I have like 500. Oh, that's easy, 250 fragments. Like, you can revive, you can get extra stuff with it, right? You can enhance your blessings, you can enhance your overall performance, you can spend the cosmic fragments more on the transaction stores. But yeah, I value it really good. Every time you see it, you think with it, like, am I gonna pick it up, am I not gonna pick it up? So it's easily just B tier and good. Family Ties increases all allies damage by 30% for every Curio that has been destroyed. I've seen people say that this is really situational, that this is like D tier, situational, maybe C tier. It just depends. But bro, to me this thing is like amazing. What are people smoking? There are so many Curios that get destroyed today, especially in Swarm Disaster, that you can easily get like 30%, 60%, 90% overall increased damage on all your allies. Okay, when it comes to Family Ties, on average, you are going to have at least one Curio that is destroyed every single run. right? If you pick it up. So just picking this up, one Curio gives you 30% damage on your whole team, which is holy, bro, holy. That is way better than the robe. Way better than the robe. You just pick it up, you have a destroyed Curio, bam, like just like that, 30%, 60%, maybe 90% overall damage increase for every Curio that you already have destroyed, fortune glue and all that stuff, right? Overall, I think this thing is really good, really strong. Alright, another new Curio, Medal of the Glory Blood Era. Immediately gains one random 3-star. The next time you enter an occurrence domain, you don't get the occurrence. This Curio will be destroyed after the effect is triggered one time. So you press this thing, you get a random 3-star from any path. I don't know, I still think it's amazing. Every time I see it, I go and open my map and I see, oh, there is an occurrence here, there is not an occurrence here. I don't need to go into this occurrence because I picked this up, right? But even if you get into it, you don't have anything in the occurrence stage, but the thing is, it's still a free 1 3-star from any path. Overall, when we look at the general performance of each Curio, every time you see this thing, you're probably gonna pick it up. You're gonna be like, oh, that's a free 3-star blessing. Why not? Why shouldn't I press it, right? So yeah, it's just a really good value. Overall, it's just a really good Curio and gets your serotonin and dopamine going every time you press it to see what you can get. It can completely save your run, it can completely destroy your run, but it's still a 3-star blessing, so you're always going to go for it. This thing can stack so much money, especially when you play it with abundance. The thing is, over the course of my 150 almost kills on Torturous 5 difficulty for the Swarm, I don't pick this up that much, because there are always better Curios when I think about it. So yeah, it is hella situational. Like, I don't know, I would put it really situational because I don't pick it that much up. If you are playing Abundance though, or you are consistently gonna get a lot of fragments after each battle, right? It's hella situational. I don't know, I don't pick it up ever. Like, when I see it, it's usually always comes with other Curios that are just way better than it. Because there are a lot of Curios that are just way better than it. Yeah, you can stack a lot of money with it, especially if you combine it with a coin, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna put it at situational. Like, I don't have that many thoughts when it comes to it, but yeah, it's still good. It's still good. So, Fruit of the Alien revives all your characters and gives them max HP. This Curio will be destroyed once its effect is triggered one time. But yeah, every time I see it, I never pick it up. Like, personally, if it was to me, I would just put it in D tier, like high D tier. I never pick it up. I just don't care for it. But yeah, maybe like it's situational, but in D tier, I just don't care for it. It all depends on like skill and how good your teams are and how well you know Swarm Disaster. If you are really experienced at Swarm Disaster, let's be honest, you are never going to pick this up. Alright, let's talk about the new Lotto ticket. So it's way better than the big Lotto ticket, let's be honest, because when it gets destroyed, you only lose all your energy and technique points, and that is way better than losing 99% of your HP. The thing is, it also goes really well with the adventure stages, the reward stages. If you get the stage where it's destructible objects and then you have this, it doesn't matter. Even if this Curio only gives you 2-3 blessings, maybe sometimes you can get it 10 blessings, even if it's 1 blessing, it's still good. It's still a really good like Curio, right? You don't lose that much for the amount that you can gain. So like the value is still really great. Oh, I lost my technique points, or I lost all my energy. It doesn't matter. Like, you can find technique points around the map. But the thing is, you can get like 4 or 5 different blessings from this, which can just give you more interplay with your path and everything. So when I see it, I always pick it up. To me, it's a little bit better than the trapezoid. I don't know, I'm addicted to big Lotto tickets, okay? That is all I'm gonna say. Alright, let's talk about this new Curio. After obtaining this Curio, cosmic fragments obtained are 100%, but blessings will no longer be obtainable after combat. So, I know there is a lot of way to play this Curio. You can do a full run with no blessings with this Curio. You can combo this Curio together with the robe. You can combo it together with the ticket, and then you can get a lot of money. Then you can combo it later on with the fragment coin that gives you 50% of fragments. So overall, like, if you know what you are doing and if you are up for a challenge, you can like get this thing. And you can put yourself into a challenging position where you are going like, yeah, I'm gonna do Swarm Disaster 5 Torturous difficulty without any blessings, but with a lot of money. And if you are lucky, you can get over like 4,000 or 5,000 fragments, and then if you have the robe, you have like the robe for the insane damage. Overall, there is a lot of combinations that you can do with this thing. But overall, As a new player, as an average player, in your normal runs, if you are trying hard, if you are not trying hard, every time you see this, are you ever going to pick it up? Let's be honest here. Like, you can work around with it as a challenging run, but if you see it, you're not gonna pick it up. Because you value blessings way too much, right? This is so situational because of the things that I just said. But the thing is, overall, the performance of this Curio, you see it, you're not gonna pick it up. Okay, let's talk about this one. Increases damage dealt by characters' techniques by 200%, and technique damage further increases by 200% of the character's max HP. If you have characters that have like combat-oriented techniques, this is really strong. For example, if you combo this with Blade, like he can hit like 500k instantaneously before the combat even starts if you use his technique. But yeah, overall the performance of this is not that bad. Like, it's B tier for me, surely, but that is coming from somebody that runs Blade way too much and that runs, you know, characters that have combat-oriented techniques. If you even start with Asta, like this thing just gives a lot of damage. If you combo it with Abundance, more HP, Destruction, it just gives you overall a lot of damage right before the combat even starts. So I would say it's a pretty high on the B tier list, like straight up really high. Okay, I don't know what to say about this, because you get cosmic fragments for each domain, but the thing is, when you get above 500 cosmic fragments, you lose all the cosmic fragments and this thing gets destroyed. Personally, I tried to pick it up a few times, and you get into some really tough situations. The situations are, you get into situations where you are unable to spend those fragments. You get 50 cosmic fragments after each domain, plus if you do the combat thing, you get like 30 to 40 more fragments. So overall, you get like 80 to 100 cosmic fragments after each domain, especially if it's combat. The thing is, you get into these situations where you pick this up and you have nowhere to spend it. Bam, you just lost 500 fragments just like that. Every time I see this thing, I completely avoid it. This thing is like the biggest curse in this game. You get into bad situations where you can't spend anything. There is like no transaction domains on the map. Overall, this Curio to me is like a curse. Every time I see it, I avoid it like a plague. So I'm just gonna put it into F tier. There is no way I'm picking this ever up. I had way too many bad situations and I have like bad memories from picking this up every single time. Cavity system. I think cavity system is something people look forward to, especially when you get it for free and when you don't need to buy it from the transaction store. But yeah, for every 100 fragments that you have, increases all your characters' crit damage by 24%. Honestly, this is S tier for me. Crit damage is a highly valued stat. We all grind for crit rate, crit damage, but having it like just if you have 100 or 200, 500 cosmic fragments, 1000 cosmic fragments equals 240% critical damage on every single of your character. Like, I value it really high. Like, this thing is so good, especially when you have money. Next Curio, 8% more damage, and overall Swarm Disaster and Swarm stuff like Combat Swarm, Occurrence Swarm, the Boss Swarm. Overall, it's just 8% more damage when it comes to fighting the Swarm, fighting the cockroaches. I see nothing bad in it, like 8% is really good. It helps you out clearing the Swarm domains easier, it helps you out on the last boss. 8% can stack up a lot with your blessings and just overall path. 8% damage is 8% damage, let's not kid ourselves. Like, when you see it, sometimes you pick it up if you are doing good. It just increases your overall damage floor and damage ceiling, right? So yeah. Fool's Mask. All blessings in possession are swapped to random blessings with their enhanced level retained, with a chance of being replaced by blessings of higher tier. Honestly, I don't know what to say about this. This can either be D tier or it can be S tier, right? Like, it can be F tier if you roll really bad, it can be situational, it can be B tier, but I would say this is a high tier situational item. Sometimes it can completely save your run, but sometimes it can completely destroy your run and you just want to Alt F4, and that's just how it is. Spirits of the Night of Beauty gains 4 dice rerolls after obtaining this Curio. When I started playing Swarm Disaster, I didn't see this thing as a highly valued item. I would say like maybe high B tier, but honestly, dice rerolling is really good. Specifically, it depends on which path you play, but overall, just path dice rerolls are really good. And having 4 rerolls is sometimes a godsend, especially if you hit the, you know, the high roll, if you get what you wanted when you dice rerolled. So I would put it as really low amazing Curio. When you see it, you're just gonna pick it up here and there and dice roll and, you know, try to save your run, especially if you play like Abundance, if you play Propagation, if you play Destruction, if you play any kind of path, it's really good. Like path dice rerolls are good. And it can save your runs, make your runs so much easier. I would put dice rerolling at really low amazing tier. Items, prices, and transaction domains become 70% of what they originally were. So you can look at this thing as a 30% decrease in prices when it comes to transaction domains, right? It is okay. Like, honestly, it is okay. When you see it, sometimes you pick it up, sometimes you don't pick it up. It all depends on how much money you have. But in the general scheme of things, it is like an okay-ish Curio, not that better than the rest. I don't know, I'll just put it here and leave it like that. I don't have any personal opinions on it, so I will just keep it in B tier. Illusionary Automaton. At the start of your character's turn, restores HP equal to 20% of their max HP. I don't know about you guys, but this thing is like S tier. Because it procs abundant stuff, it procs so many things. You can get into situations where you can run like 4 DPS, you can run no healers, no sustain. Even if you run just 1 sustain unit, you don't even need to run that sustain unit sometimes, because 20% of your max HP every time it's your turn. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it just procs a lot of abundant stuff, it procs everything. It just gives you so much healing, so much healing. But yeah, it is so good. It is so good. Nothing more to say. It is, when you see it, you pick it up. Let's be honest. When you see it, you pick it up. You try to always pick it up. Casket of Inaccuracy obtains 1 to 2 random blessings after obtaining this Curio. You see it, sometimes you get it, 1 to 2 extra blessings. Hell yeah, let's go. Gains 1 cheat after obtaining this Curio. Like cheats and dice rolls, I value hard. If you were asking me, maybe high B tier, but honestly, I would say like amazing tier. Cheats are really good. Like, cheats enable you to have a higher success chance in your overall Swarm Disaster run. Like, you can do so much with cheats. Like, 1 cheat can completely change the course of action. Always having 1 extra cheat is really good. In Phase 2, Phase 3 specifically, it doesn't matter. Like, all paths have really good cheats. So in general, cheat is way too good. Cheat is amazing. Like, I would even put it here. Why not? Like, it has a high performance value in your Swarm Disaster. It increases the success chance of your run in Swarm Disaster in general. In general, when you pick it up. Okay, next Curio, we all know what it is. Man-made meteorite gains 1 to 3 random blessings for the current path after obtaining this Curio. Without a doubt, S tier. You get blessings from the same path. 1 to 3. You can either low roll it or high roll it into 3 blessings of the same path. I think we all know it, what this is. Every time you see it, every time there is a slight chance of it appearing, you instantly try to get it right. Because blessings are the most important thing. Is it better than Dimension Dice? I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, like, as a normal player, every time you see it, you're gonna pick it up instantly. That's just how it is. Like, S tier, 100%. Okay, next up is this cocktail thing, and unfortunately I still don't have it, but I know what it does. You consume 24% HP, max HP, from your highest attack character, and then you get 5% speed, and it stacks up to 5 times. And since I didn't use it and I don't know how well it performs in actual combat and actual Storm Disaster, honestly I'm just gonna keep it here. But the next cocktail is the pinkiest cocktail of them all, which I really like. I like cocktails. Upon entering battle, all allies' break effect increases by 20% for every blessing of a different path possessed. It is really good. If you're running like break effect Asta, if you're running, it doesn't matter, it just increases your overall damage and your overall performance on clearing Swarm Disaster stage 1, 2, 3. I will just put it like here. Every time I see it, I get happy because I like break effect. I don't know, I think break effect is an undervalued stat. Okay, the triangular drum roll device. When choosing paths for the first and second phase or planes, you can additionally select one already enhanced blessing for the corresponding path. This is not bad. This is really good. Like, I will just put it here in B tier. I like it. Sometimes when I see it, I choose it. If you choose it really early on, it's good. If you choose it in phase 3, what are you doing? Because it doesn't work there. But yeah, in the first and second plane, this is just overall good. Why not? Just pick it up every time you see it, especially early in the game. You're gonna profit a lot from it, why not? Shatter Starbait. So here's the thing, increases movement speed by 20% when on the map, and during combat, characters' actions are advanced forward by 10% after they take an action. I remember when I put this thing in like B tier way back in normal simulated universe because it deserves to be there. But in Swarm Disaster, I think its value is increased to amazing tier. And you know why? 20% movement speed is actually really beneficial once you get into those reward stages, into those adventure stages where you don't have like a Danhang, Imbibitor, Lune, you don't have Jingliu, you don't have those characters that can easily destroy all the objects. So you can have this, you download Asta and you get like every single time 30 out of 30 easy, like 20% movement speed by clearing the adventure stuff and the just destructible object stages. It's really, really good. Plus, advance forward by 10% after you take an action on your characters over the course of a really long battle, which is the final boss of Swarm Disaster. You get a lot from it. A lot from it, and it goes really well with the hunt and a lot of paths. It just generally, it's just really good. So to me, this is amazing tier. Easily amazing tier. So Swarm Disaster is really long and you are gonna destroy a lot of objects along the way, especially in adventure mode where you get the destructible objects, as I said, and you get 30 of them. So yeah, you can get a lot of damage from them. The thing is, a lot of people don't understand this, but this calculates all the destructible objects that you did in your whole Swarm Disaster run. So if you pick this in plane 3, you're gonna have a lot of damage. If you pick it in plane 1, plane 2, plane 3, it doesn't matter. It's calculating all the destructible objects, right? So all the destructible objects from the adventure stuff, all the destructible objects over every single stage, like this thing can pump up to 100% like more damage. It's really, really good. Like way back in normal simulated universe, it would be like B tier, but Swarm Disaster is long. You have a lot of ways to get to destructible objects, and it just gives so much damage. Like I would say this thing is undervalued by a lot of people when it comes to Swarm Disaster. Like people undervalue and sleep on this Curio a lot. It is stronger than this thing. This thing is 30% on your Curio destroyed, right? For each Curio destroyed, 30% damage. This thing is 3% on every destructible object. So like, no, I will put it in S tier. You know what? I'm gonna put it in S tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in S tier because every time I see these, I pick them up. It's so much free damage. It's insane. It's insane how much people sleep on this thing. So yeah, it's S tier. 100% S tier for me. Angel type UIO dispenser. Screw this thing. Yeah, you can combo it, but overall the performance of this thing, hell no. Every time I see it, I just avoid it like the plague. I avoid it like the plague. Crown of Planar Shifts. So, hear this thing out. The current exploration will not be terminated if your team is defeated in battle outside of the final domain. Instead, the battle will be considered as victory, and all characters will recover HP upon their respective max HP. If you go against elites and you die, your Swarm Disaster is not over. You get the blessing and you continue your run. And everyone is healed up to max. If you go against the final boss in phase 1 and you die, you just get the blessings and then you continue into phase 2. If you die to like Svarog, Kokolia, Gepard in phase 2, it's considered a victory and you move forward into phase 3. So this thing is really good. Like overall, this thing is like amazing tier. I know, like way back, I said in simulated universe normal stuff, this thing is bad. But now in Swarm Disaster, where there is a higher chance of you completely like destroy your run and completely get annihilated, this thing gives you a free victory, full HP, and you move on. It's amazing tier, why not? Why not? Like you can easily abuse this thing to move onwards. We all know this one, Cheese. Cheese gives you Eidolons +1 on all your characters. Cheese is good. Like cheese is easy S tier. We don't even need to talk about it. Cheese S tier, good stuff. Alright, but let's talk about the other cheese. After winning a battle, all allies restore HP equal to 30% of their max HP. There are always better Curios out there, like it's really situational, like it's at the bottom tier of situational. Like I would say it's even D tier, like do you honestly need this? Like it's not giving you anything. I mean, it can give you a little bit of extra healing between each battle, but overall I'm just gonna put it at like really low situational stuff. I never pick it up, like I never pick this up. Like you're always going to run at least one healer or at least one tank without a healer. You also can run abundance for the extra healing in battle. Cheese is like really low priority when it comes to Curios, really low. Here comes the big daddy, Big Galactic Lotto. This depends on how much of a gambler you are. Here's the thing when it comes to Big Galactic Lotto. It's a fun item, but in Swarm Disaster, holy hell, can it screw over your whole run. So I'm just gonna put it at a high priority list of situational items. You can either high roll it, or you can get it, destroy an object, bam. Everyone is at 1% HP, you are going into the next battle, what do I do? It's completely like screwed me over, right? But if you are a big gambler fan, I think it's gonna be S tier. If you ask me, to me it's S tier. No, I'm joking. It's a situational item. Let's be honest. It's a situational item at best in Swarm Disaster. It's like a B tier item. Like a B tier item, but it's heavily situational, just like Fool's Mask. I'm a big fan of Omniscient Capsule. To me, this thing is like a really high priority every single time. First of all, you get double the money from every single destructible object. Second of all, there is a higher chance of the technique points destructible objects appearing, as well as the HP one. As well, you can combo it a lot with, you know, the coin. You can combo it a lot with this thing. You can combo it indefinitely with the scissors. So yeah, when it comes to Capsule, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this is S tier. Like, this is easily S tier. Like, these two combos is like the unlimited Blade Works combo. This is so good. It gives you way more money, and it gives you a way higher chance of healing your units and just getting technique points. Alright, Punk Lord mentality. Upon entering battle, there is a 100% fixed chance to add to all enemies one weakness of the same type as your allies currently on the field. This weakness lasts for 3 turns. In normal simulated universe, I would put this thing at D tier, maybe B tier. I don't value it that much. But when it comes to Swarm Disaster, especially when you go against Swarm, especially when you go against elites, like 3 turns is a lot. 3 turns is a lot in Swarm Disaster, let's be honest. And having the ability to weakness break an opponent, especially the Swarm, I value it really highly. To me, like, Punk Lord mentality is easily like here. Easily here, because Swarm Disaster is such a huge thing, and like having weakness against a boss and elite, especially the Swarm, I value it really highly. But overall, yeah, Punk Lord mentality, I value it highly. It's like a free servable for 3 turns. It's a free servable for 3 turns, that's how you need to look at it. Beacon Coloring Paste, when choosing a blessing after winning a battle, randomly enhances one blessing among the selection. Hella RNG, but still really good, because you can proc, you know, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars, it doesn't matter. It's still good. Like, it's still good. We can put it in B tier. It's still a really good curio. Next up, Fortune Glue, easiest tier. Fortune Glue is easiest tier. We don't even need to talk about it. Next battle you win, you get a 3-star. Like, what is there more to talk about it? Okay, next up is Insect Web, and I see a lot of people still not understanding how strong this item is, how strong this curio is. So, when you enter the battle, the character with your strongest attack gets parasited and increases their attack by 50%. But the thing is, every time it's their turn, they lose 20% of their current HP. It's not max HP, it's current HP. So the lower your character goes, the less HP they lose. And this can proc Fighting Spirit, this can proc so many things, but at the same time, the 20% of the current HP is so negligible to the amount of just pure raw attack that you get. 50% increased attack on raw is like, bro, this is S tier. Like, what are we even talking about? Insect Web is like easy S tier, and the HP loss is just negligible. It's laughable by the amount of how much damage you can get. Scroll, 30% of max HP instantly gone. Scroll is S tier. On the last boss, it's instantly 1,000,000 damage before the battle even starts. On elites, on just generally going through the Swarm Disaster, 30% of their max HP instantly gone. It improves the speed and the success rate of your Swarm Disaster run by a significant amount. Doctor's Robe. I think Doctor's Robe is S tier. A lot of Path of Resonance abilities do a lot of damage, and having 40% more damage on Path of Resonance abilities and always having it at the start of the battle is just, especially in Swarm Disaster, it's like, I value it highly. Like Doctor's Robe, we all know it, Doctor's Robe is Doctor's Robe. It is one of the most known curios in this game. Okay, so Society Ticket increases the number of cosmic fragments received after winning a battle by 75%. So 75% more cosmic fragments after each battle. I think this is amazing, honestly. Especially if you play like Path of Destruction, you want to go into different domains that are always combat. Just generally, it gives you so much money. We all want money. We all want cosmic fragments because more money equals more enhanced abilities, more ways to spend and get the curios that you want, more ways to spend on the transaction domains where you can get, you know, good blessings. But yeah, 75% on combat. I don't know, I like it, I like it. I always pick it up when I see it, especially if you see it in Planner Phase 1. If you see it at the beginning of your Swarm Disaster, you just pick it up and then you start stacking infinite amount of money. And with that ticket placed in Amazing tier, I think we are done. And honestly, let me see, maybe I can change something here if I look closely at it. The S tier, I completely agree, like these are the S tier curios, these are one of the most influential curios that give you so much attack survivability, it just doesn't matter. These curios generally increase the success rate of your Swarm Disaster run. Trimmers can be in B tier, but to me, I look at them at a really nice way of getting Fortune Glue, Dimension Dice again. And Fortune Glue and Dimension Dice are one of the most highly valued curios when it comes to Swarm Disaster in Simulated Universe. So, like, this puts Trimmers into the Amazing tier just for that, right? Because when you see them, you use them, they get destroyed, you can use them again. Like, it refreshes, so you can get like 2 Fortune Glues, you can get like 2 Dimension Dice overall throughout your run in Swarm Disaster. So yeah, when it comes to changing, I would actually put Trimmers that fix the destructible curios at a really low Amazing tier. Like, even this, like, why not, why not? This is good, I don't know, like Advance Forward, Curio, Error Code, I would put it at here, 25% Advance Forward, not bad, right? Not bad. Amazing curios, it's all personal preference, but this is how I look at them, right? It doesn't matter what they're, like, where they are currently, but I think that these are amazing curios to pick up. B tier curios, not bad. It's usually money and situational stuff, a little bit of damage here and there, but yeah, why not? Like, I would put even here the Advance Forward. The Advance Forward and this thing can be here. Like, when it comes to error codes, you know, when it comes to everything, like, we can do this. And situational stuff, yeah, this is hella situational. This is really big, like, when it comes to situational stuff. Clocks and these two, these and the F tier is, I think the F tier deserves to be in the F tier. But yeah, this is pretty much how I look at curios in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Swarm Disaster. I think I did a pretty okay job. If somebody disagrees or wants to add something when it comes to different curios, please be sure to comment in the comment section below and just add your comment and say what you want, because I'm curious how other people see different curios from their own point of view and when it comes to, you know, their experiences with different curios. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't know what else to add. I don't have a YouTuber outro. Thank you all for watching, and, you know, please be sure to like and subscribe. And with all that said, I'm gonna go back into farming Swarm Disaster 5 and making videos. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching again. Adios.